Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Great.
Okay, we're here. We took a little break.
Yes.
A much needed.
Yes.
Much needed little break.
We needed it for sure.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk to you guys because if you follow us on Instagram, we've already posted this, but we really are very much into listening to our bodies and really paying attention to like the signals that we're getting. And we've been doing this for almost 6 months now. 6 months of like each week putting out episodes. And we realize like, especially at this point in our lives where we are at, like doing it every week is not super sustainable for us. Just we have a lot of life going on. Yeah. And we love it. We are so excited. We're going to be kind of shifting it a little bit, but we just wanted to come on here and let you know that we decided we're just going to do every other week for our episodes, and that feels more sustainable for us, and hopefully then feels like it hits too, like we get to like really actually put our whole selves into it instead of feeling like frantic trying to figure out what we're going to post and what we're going to be doing and all of that. So
yes
I concur. Yes to that.
All right.
So that being said, you have a little story time for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we said, life be lifing.
Yeah.
Okay. And like moms out there know, parents know.
Oh.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. But you know what? It's also so hard for kids.
Yes.
And that is one thing about me is I am constantly checking myself as a parent and remembering what it was like when I was their age or when I was a kid and how things felt. And so recently, recently there was a situation that happened with my oldest.
Okay.
And he basically called me a very bad name.
Okay.
And that has never happened before. And so in that moment, you have to go, oh, how am I about to handle this?
Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit.
I love it. I love this story so much.
Okay.
I wake up thinking about this story. It makes me laugh so much. I just love it. And before you start, I love your parenting style. I think that you are such an amazing mom, like literally. And I think that when I hear these stories and I'm just laughing so much, I also am like incredibly like, wow, like that was so beautiful the way you handled it. Anyway,
I'm gonna cry. I love you. It wouldn't be an episode if I didn't laugh and cry at the same time.
You know, it's how we do.
Okay. Well, things were so hectic. We had so much going on. Yeah. And they had just come back from being at whatever, practice or that they had. And it was late. It's a school night. You know the drill. So it was just like, I already had the bath ready. Pajamas are out. Like we need to get moving. And I have a hard time. I'm very like strict with our timing. Yeah. We have a schedule, bath and shower time is at this time. This is when we are in bed because I want you guys to be asleep by this time because everyone knows that then you finally get to have a moment.
Yes.
Okay?
To yourself.
Just a moment.
Just right before you go to bed, just a tiny window of time.
Yes.
Yes.
And half the time that's spent packing lunches and doing other things.
Yep.
But I just didn't want us to get too far off track because I think sleep is very important. And I also really value my time after the kids go to bed.
Yes.
So I was barking orders a little heavily.
Okay.
And I definitely was being a little less patient. And my son was he loves to talk. And good God, there was a time in life where all I wanted to do was hear his little voice because, having autism, like he didn't speak. He wasn't able to communicate until later on. And so I just nowadays when he never stops talking, I remind myself of how like proud I am, but I'm also like neurodivergent myself. So your girl gets overstimulated very easily.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to parent, when you are also easily overstimulated while also trying to like, you know, break generational cycles, and you're trying to parent the best you can while also just like juggling all of the things that you're still working through.
Totally. It's like reparenting yourself while you're parenting.
Yes.
Which is like so much all at once to be processing in real time as you're talking to your child.
Exactly.
It's wild.
And my sweet boy he just wanted me to do something for him, and I could have just done it and had it be over with within seconds. But in my mind, I'm like, we don't need to do that. Stop. He wanted me to like take a picture of something so he could remember the exact time frame where he ended. I don't know what it was, but basically he was just like, mom, can you do this? And I'm like, Brooks, first get upstairs and do this, then I will do that for you. Mom, just please. No, I just need you to do it. And it was so nonstop. And meanwhile, like my other son is just like banging on the drums. It is late.
Oh my gosh.
Like, and in my mind, I'm thinking like the bath is probably cold by now. And I just, you know,
that was a lot.
Next thing you know, I can like feel my socks on my feet and my shirt is getting too tight and my like ponytail hurts. And I don't know what it is, but when you start getting that sensory overload.
Oh yeah.
And so anyways, long story even longer is that my son is very sensitive. And when I was not listening to him, he kept saying, Mom, you're not listening to me. Mm-hmm. You don't even care. And I'm like, Brooks, of course I care. Come on. That's not fair. Like, and next thing you know, I'm finding myself kind of arguing with him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like, why are you arguing with your child? Like, and then I started feeling kind of guilty. And then all of the sudden, he like just screamed out of frustration. And I just looked at him and I was just like, get upstairs and get in the bath. And that like, he just laughed at me. He laughed at me.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but there is nothing that will take me from 0 to 100 than the kid laughing. Like I can't. It's so hard.
I'm gonna be honest. It's like it's a YouTube thing. Like he has seen like where literally he like holds his stomach and points and kind of laughs like this exaggerated laugh. It's a thing he saw on YouTube that he just is copying them.
Got it.
And I should know that. And in the moment, I should be able to regulate my emotions as an adult better than I expect a 10-year-old to. But instead, I'm like, why are you laughing? And then I just started like, ha, like laughing. And he looked at me and was just so shocked. And
you scared him. He like
jumped. And then he like balled his fist up. And then he said, You're being a fuck-ass bitch. And then ran. And I stood there dumbfounded.
I can't.
Excuse me?
Oh my gosh.
A fuck-ass bitch?
It's just, oh my gosh. It was just pure emotion. Like he was like so upset and startled. He was so upset at you. Oh my gosh. It was like the only things he could even think to say. It was like the worst things that he could think.
So many thoughts in that moment.
Oh my God.
Like, where did he even hear that
I don't
from?
even know.
What a weird cluster of cuss words.
You know?
Like,
it's all together.
Okay. Also, too, like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
oh my
but my biggest, like, clearest thought was, well, he's not wrong. I was being a fuck ass bitch. I'm not kidding.
I mean,
honestly, like,
oh my gosh,
what a bitch, bro.
Dude.
Like, So here's the thing. I was so triggered because, like, how dare you?
Oh. Well, because, okay, I'm thinking for you and for me, if we had said that to our parents,
yes,
the repercussions would have been abusive. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
I got, like, the teeth slapped out of my mouth for just, like, rolling my eyes at my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I remember getting backhanded in public because I just, like, you know, used the wrong tone with her. And so it was so crazy to me because, one, my son has never cussed at me like that before. Like, and then two, I was like, how I choose to handle this moment is going to be something whether he remembers it in his mind or just his nervous system remembers it and then shapes like how he thinks of himself, how he sees the world, like all of these little things add up. And that's what gentle parenting is about. It's not about, I'm going to let him get away with disrespecting me. Like, you don't talk to your mother that way. Like,
parenting,
absolutely
but it's like,
not.
It's like, this
is a teachable moment.
Totally. And you are safe enough to actually express those things with me, which I like totally honor and can see that. But then how do we remedy this, right? Like, how do we have this conversation?
Right. And the hardest thing is while you're triggered and while everything is just seeing red out of 10,
oh my gosh,
you have to remove your ego.
Yep.
And just like think about what need of his is not being met.
Right.
And just address that first.
Yep.
So he booked it.
I mean, he was like, I'm freaking scared.
He was skipping stairs.
Yep.
Running.
Oh yeah.
And I decided to take a moment to myself.
Smart.
To like have these thoughts, feel these feelings, and take a breath. And then I just went upstairs and I found him. And I just, I told him that we need to talk about this. Mm-hmm. He was already tears in his eyes.
Of course.
And as we were talking about it, I was just addressing that, I understand his frustration and I didn't do a very good job of like listening to him. And I just let him know that was my fault and it's not an excuse, but the reasoning behind it is like I was stressed out and worried about timing and getting in the bath because it's a school night. But next time I'm going to make sure that I listen to you, and because like what you have to say is important to me. And even if you are really frustrated and really mad and upset, and even if you have every right to feel that way, you still cannot be disrespectful and call people names. Yeah. And I just told him that even when mom is really upset, angry, frustrated, whatever, it is never okay. Like I would never call you a name,
right?
Cuss at you. Like that is not acceptable. Yeah. And that's just not how we treat each other. And so I really he started crying and my poor sweet boy, he goes, I know, I'm sorry. You're not a fuck ass bitch. I just love you so much.
Oh,
and so I gave him a hug and I let him know that like, it's okay. I accept your apology. Right. I'm going to do better at this. Yeah. And then, you can make sure that you're choosing to still be kind even when you're upset. Because Huge. I don't want him to grow into a man who thinks like, well, you pissed me off. Yeah. So I can act this way. It's your fault.
Yeah.
I wouldn't act this way if you didn't do that. Like, so, we really were able to like co-regulate. We were able to address things and uphold boundaries and, to be able to talk about it and come together and move on. We talked about, before we moved on and took a bath, we talked about what an apology looks and sounds like and how there's multiple parts to an apology. And even though you tell me you're sorry, right, like that doesn't mean that you just move on and there's no more like accountability, consequences, that kind of thing. So with that said, he went ahead, he got in the bath, he got everything done. But after the bath, he wanted to know if he could use my phone to Google something, which he often wants to do at night. And I let him know. I just kind of looked at him and he kind of looked at me knowingly. And then he kind of deflated a little bit. And I said, honey, I'm so glad that we were able to talk to each other and apologize. And I know that you're sorry. Because he's like, but Mom, I said I was sorry. I know you're sorry. And here's the thing, even if you apologize and you're sorry for something that you did and how it hurt someone else, you still like have to show changed behavior.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build trust back. And you don't get to like lash out at people, say sorry, and then expect to have access to them or their belongings. That's not how it works. And he said, I understand. And then he didn't get the phone. I told him that we can start over tomorrow and then you can Google it tomorrow morning. And he was like, okay. And then we moved on. And
dude,
it was just like he went to bed, like I gave him a hug and everything was fine. But I definitely woke up the next morning laughing because I thought,
I did too. When you told me this story, I literally woke up the next morning being like, I'm just like, fuck ass bitch. Fuck ass bitch. That's my new phrase. Like, I love it. I love it.
God.
Oh my gosh. But it's just, that's so amazing. So
amazing.
No, I'm serious because here's the thing too, we have people in our chair all the time.
Yeah.
And, varying degrees of difference in opinions and the way they do things. And sometimes I hear like, oh, gentle parenting is ruining everything, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's all these iPad kids who do all these things because the parents don't want to discipline or do these things. And I'm like, that's not gentle parenting. Like, that's permissive parenting,
right?
And it's like the difference between gentle parenting and permissive parenting is gentle parenting is high boundaries and high warmth.
Yes.
And permissive parenting is low boundaries and warmth, right? Like, so it's completely different.
Right.
You don't just get to get away with everything because kids need a boundary to be set,
right,
so that they know that they're safe and loved. And but then the opposite, like what we were, raised
imagine that same scenario, but imagine I did more of like authoritarian parenting style, totally, which would be like high boundaries, low warmth, and imagine if I just yelled back at him and told him like,
you're grounded,
you don't speak to your mother that way, you are grounded, I'm taking all of your XYZ away for a month, and like you don't disrespect me. Guess what? I remember what it was like being a kid, and with that type of parenting, you didn't teach them the lesson you think you taught them. You may have like felt like, I'm back in control now.
Totally.
But that didn't actually teach them how to work through those emotions and those kind of situations that are going to happen over and over again through their life.
Of course.
And guess what? Like they're saying that in their head, whether or not they say it out loud or not. And some people are like, good, say it in your head, but don't say it to me. Cool. So you're like, you expect a child to just figure it out on their own.
Right.
But just don't respect me though.
Right.
Come on.
Like just suppressing emotions, like just suppress it all and don't share.
But guess what? I'm not actually that offended that he called me that. I'm really not.
Honestly.
I don't feel disrespected because I have empathy. I know what it's like to like feel so dysregulated that you just want to lash out.
Totally.
And I don't expect a kid without the tools to know how to handle that situation.
Absolutely.
And guess what? I know I'm the safe place. So of course he lashed out at me.
Absolutely.
But guess what? I'm also the one that comes back around and that does not mean that I condone that behavior.
No.
It's okay, honey.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, you made that perfectly clear, but you did it with warmth and love and safety.
Yes.
As opposed to like, you're wrong, I'm right,
Right.
you should not be doing these things.
Because now it's like the voice, like how you handle these situations is how they speak to themselves and how they view themselves.
Yes.
So as he grows older, instead of thinking like, I lashed out and now I'm such a bad person, nobody likes me, and like everyone is just like trying to upset me, and they like nobody understands me, and I don't know what, like it's just these kind of like narratives that you create when really it's just like kids are supposed to co-regulate.
Yeah. Well, and that's just bringing it back around to like what our dynamic is in our country right now. But like, I feel like there's a lot of little boys running around in adult bodies that aren't regulated.
Oh, absolutely. Like I feel for them, but
Yes.
that's exactly why we have a male loneliness epidemic.
Right. Exactly. So just love you. And I am like, I love that story. I just love it. I love you.
And
I
then
think
my
you're amazing.
lesson.
Yes. What was your lesson? in this?
What I learned that day was like, damn, I really do need to like check myself, because what does any of it matter? Like the only thing that matters is like that actual connection, like being present, that kind of thing. And sometimes we're, as moms, we're like, we got to do this, we got to do that, and we have this never ending list of to do things. But I definitely want to work on like how my kids remember me and how they view me, and I'm just like, I want to be that nurturing mom and not like the overstimulated fuck ass bitch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's take the time, listen to the kids.
Yes. It's so interesting though, because I remember with Noah, my oldest, who's now going to be turning 20, but
like me,
just fucking crazy. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, now we have to divert a little bit. I didn't mean to do that. No, it's okay. No, I love it. I love it. So yesterday we're in the salon and I'm telling my husband, my beloved husband, is turning 50 this year. And Jess looks at me.
So serious. And
she goes, wait, he's 20 years older than me? And I look at her dead in the eyes and I'm like, no, love, you're turning 40. And she's like, what? Wait, hold on. I swear to God, I'm turning 30. Wait a second. Like you literally reversed in time.
I had a stroke or something. I don't know what happened, but I dead ass looked at you like with fear in my eyes. Like I was so confused.
Dude, I could see it. I was like, no, she's dead ass serious right now.
I'm not even being funny.
Oh my gosh.
I was so good.
So
confused.
So good. I was cracking up. I thought of it all night long. When I got home, I told Curtis about it too. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. But okay.
Wild.
So when Noah was younger, he had a thing where he had lied. And I tell this to my kids all the time. I'm like, look, you're going to be in way less trouble if you tell the truth than if you lie. Like if I find out you lied about something, it's going to be 10,000 times worse for you. It just is one of those things. Like I'd rather have a conversation with you. Do not lie. So he lied about like he was emailing a girl back and forth, and he had like found a Kindle in like, he wasn't allowed to like text girls at this time because he was really young. And he found a Kindle in the garage, uploaded, like recharged it, figured out how to email, and then was like emailing this girl for a really long time. But I had listened to a podcast about like adults and addiction. And that segment of that thing stuck with me so hard because it was talking about how adults with addiction, like almost 100% of the time, the parents had like, there was no consequences to actions while they were getting raised. As they were talking about it though, they said the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection.
Yes.
And so when I was thinking about consequences for Noah, and I was like, okay, I could make these consequences like, you got to be in your room, you can't be doing these things. And instead I thought about it in how do I create connection with him through the consequence, right? And so his consequence was he had to help me make dinner for a whole month, but it created a space where instead of it being like he's away and he's getting punished, it created connection time for us. And that was so huge. It actually shifted a lot, I think, in our relationship, because my son is very independent and he always has been since he was really little. But it was this moment of like, he saw me as an authority in that space. Like I knew more than him in that. And for him, even though he was just in junior high, he really felt like he's very like self-assured. He has a very strong like moral compass. And so he knows what's right and what's not for him. He just knows it. It's inherent in him. I didn't build that in him. That is just something that he came with hardwired. And so it was weird because like he would come to me and ask me questions and he'd be like, yeah, that doesn't seem right. And he would just do what he wanted to do because he'd be like, that doesn't make sense. You know, like what you're saying doesn't make sense to me.
Can you imagine?
No.
As twos, we're like, wait, that's an option?
Literally, I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm trying to get approval. Can I go to the bathroom now? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like asking. So very, very different. And it was very hard as someone who's very opposite of that to see that and be like, how is this not like disrespectful or, you know? And so I started seeing it as like, actually, this is just how he's hardwired, and how do I like cultivate that? Because that's going to take him far in life, right? Yeah. Instead of being like, let's combat against this. Like, how do I help you use this in a way where you're thinking about things for yourself, but also like, how does this affect your life and how the paths you take and the decisions you make, and trusting your gut, trusting yourself, right? And so we had a month of like making dinner, and he would ask me questions like, how do I cut this? Or how do I do this? You know? And it was like a place where he could see like, oh, she actually does know more than me in this space. Right. But it just also opened up like being able to talk about his day and, you know, and really getting to know him more than I, you know, just in passing as I'm, you know, it's hard when you're feeling like the Uber driver and you're like taking them from thing to thing to thing, but you're not like actually spending a lot of like one-on-one time with them, like where it's just you and them. And I don't know, it was just like a really like, it just shifted things. And I just think that when you can come to things and be like, okay, instead of create, like I could have just been like, forget it, you don't get a phone, you don't have this, you don't have that, you know. I flipped it and was like, okay, how do I create more connection between us in this way? And I still like look for those connection points like with my kids, even though they're much older now and in different spaces, but like I treasure those times, and I think they do too. And I think it's just like, you know, for Brooks just being like, oh my gosh, like I know my mom loves me unconditionally. Even if I call her the worst name I could possibly come up with in my little brain, like she still loves me. And because it's not about not having ruptures, it's about how you reconnect back, you know? And I love it. Story time. It was like a touching little story time today. Fuck ass bitch. I love it. I love it. Okay. So what have you been reading?
Oh my gosh. So many things. First of all, you and I are like, we're in different worlds.
Yes, we literally different worlds right now.
Like I tried to be in the fantasy world and I couldn't. I was so close to the finish line and I was like, I can't do this. So we did the interview with Sarah Kate and she had mentioned in there one of her favorite kind of characters. Yeah. And it made me go, oh, we hadn't read that book.
Yeah.
So I decided to just like start down this whole series, and it's the Good Brothers series. And there is how many books? There's The Anti-Hero, Homewrecker, Heartbreaker, and I'm on the Prodigal Son. So I am so obsessed. Like, dude. Obviously we know she can do no wrong. But it's way different. Yeah. It's way different than any of the other series. And I have been so just like, it's just like a roller coaster of emotions. Like it's the deepest, you know, gut-wrenching things, and you're crying and sobbing, but then you're also just like literally jumping up and down, like giddy, squealing, like so excited. it touches on so many different stories between all the different, brothers and their different lives. But the way it's all connected together and what they go through, I mean, I'm telling you, like, I just want to gush about each book and why I'm obsessed with it and why you should read it. And so that might have to be for another time.
Yeah, I think we need to deep dive into that on like a full podcast episode of those.
Yeah.
And I would also like to read them.
Right.
But I'm in like fantasy land right now.
Yes.
And so it's hard for me to like, I'm having a hard time pivoting back.
I know.
It's weird.
I know. But I can't wait for you
Okay.
to read this series, because I did send you a voice note like a couple times just bawling. Yeah. But as I always do. But I feel like I thought of you while reading these books, and I feel like you could have like written these. Like they just feel so,
They feel like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so
can't wait.
I'm excited to experience you experiencing them.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. Okay. Yeah. I've been so my husband also reads fantasy. He loves fantasy books. And he was like, hey, there's a series I'm reading right now, and I think you would really like it. And it's a vampire series. And so I started reading it last year, like late last year. And just, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's just like the Twilighty, like scratching an itch, like the vampires.
But is it like, what is it like? Because there's like scary vampire, and then there's like, I don't know.
It's not scary. It's not like scary.
Like, are we talking like Vampire Diaries?
A little bit, I guess. It's more like, okay.
They're like sexy vampires.
They're sexy vampires. They're sexy vampires, but they're also like hella brutal. So the first book is really, it reminds me a little of Hunger Games where you have like a human who's in like a tournament, basically, to win. And if you win, there's gods involved. Like, it's like, it actually makes you hate fucking gods in general. It literally, all of the gods are horrible, but they all have like different people that are following them and different things that they do. And so Nyaxa is like the god of the vampires. And she had like a tragic history in the god realm where she was married to the god of death, and the god of death gets murdered by the other gods, basically.
Oh my God.
And so she's left, and she's pissed, and she makes vampires. Like, that's her whole thing, is she's like, fine, I'm gonna make these people that can like basically have to feed off of the humans because y'all are horrible. So there's this tournament that happens every 100 years where if you win the tournament, which means you kill every other person that's in this tournament, then you get granted one wish by Nyaxa, the god. So that's like a whole situation, because it's like the only human who's ever competed. And of course, she's falling for another person, another vampire that's in this like thing. So it's like, how are they both gonna survive? Like, how is this gonna work out? And you're just like, it's wild. It's great. The first 2 books of this series, it's like The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, I think, is the very first book of this series. But the first 2 books are about like the 2 characters, and then it kind of, there's like, it breaks from them and moves to different characters that you've met in the first books. So you're kind of like hopping around a little bit. And then there's like 2 different side books that I also read, because I was in it. Like, I loved this world. Like, this world
you gave them all 5 stars.
I mean,
so
all 5 stars, just 5 stars across the board. But just the stories, just the visuals that she creates is just amazing. So anyway, so then I was in Vampire World, and then Roots of Darkness came out, which is another series, Road of Bones, which is like a Viking fantasy.
God, you are.
I'm telling you, I'm in fantasy world right now, but I'm loving it. Really, truly. It's just a great time. And then I had an intuitive reading, and which I think is like, okay, there's a difference between like psychic reading And I've had 3 kind of readings in my life. And okay, as you all know, grown up in the church, like literally if my mom knew.
Oh no. Mom,
she'd be praying
earmuffs.
real hard for me. So mom needs earmuffs. So, but this is the thing. So I've had one experience with like an intuitive, and it was more like pictures. It was very light and bright and very like fun. And it was like this very mustached man on Zoom. And it was like, he was so sweet and just like, but it's like playing Pictionary, right?
Yeah.
Like he kind of is connected with the other side. And so he's like seeing all these pictures and he's like, okay, I'm seeing, do you remember me?
I remember this
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wait,
I think you
I
went
did
to him.
too.
Okay. Yeah.
I am
Block
just
that
now
out.
remembering that.
Yes.
I was like, this is sounding familiar.
Yeah, like
wait, mine was really good too.
Yeah, he was so cool and just
my
so
gosh.
sweet. He was like the sweetest little
Yes,
muffin.
I loved
He was like in
him.
his 20s and he
Yeah.
was just like,
I thought we were gonna be like best friends.
yeah, no, really, truly. I bet you
that
would
funny?
be. Yeah. He was so sweet and he just like, he would see in pictures. So he's like, I see George Washington and I see a
He saw
pool
me-
table.
He saw me on like a merry-go-round, like at a, not a circus,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, a fair. I don't know.
And weren't you like speaking in front of people? Weren't you like
Yes.
on a stage?
Yes, he told me that he saw me in the future,
Dude.
in front of like a bunch of people, and it was going to be all about like connection, and everyone was going to listen to what I had to say, and that I was
Dude.
meant to like, yeah.
What the freak?
What the freak?
Oh my gosh. So good. But it's so weird because you have these like experiences, right?
Okay.
And then like further on, you're like, wait a second. Like, wait, that actually happened. Like
Yes,
that came
I
to
love it.
be. Yeah. So, okay. So I had that one. And then I had like a psychic medium reading. That blew my mind because on one of my favorite scary podcasts that I listen to, that's called The Night Owl, and it's all about like ghost stories and like people's experience with ghosts. She was the psychic medium that came to the spots where they were and like literally got like didn't talk to anybody and just got like what she was getting out of it, and then they like corroborated their stories like
Wow.
and like it was amazing. She was incredible, and I listened for like 2 years worth of
Yeah.
these episodes. So like I had built like a trust in her because I'm like, dude, she's doing all this stuff, and she offered readings at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'll totally do this. And that one was really profound as well. And like a lot of connections, like my grandma and my girls that I lost, and like, oh my gosh, it was, I mean, I bawled the entire time, but that one was super great too. So I had a friend who reached out to me and was like, oh my gosh, I had this reading. It was like total referral. Like my friend that's like, does acupuncture and she's really connected to these things. She had this amazing experience with this woman. And I was like, I want to go. Yes, let's do this. Because I also like, I've just been feeling really heavy, like lots of, just world stuff. It just feels heavy right now,
Yeah.
And I was like, I just feel like it would be nice just to feel like direction or, like just kind of something,
Yeah.
insight to something. And so I went with no expectation. Like I had no idea what it was all about. And I didn't know even what she did exactly. I just knew she was intuitive. And so she has this amazing little bookshop up in El Dorado Hills. Mm-hmm. And so she like closes up shop and like closes the curtains and sits you down on the couch.
I'm sold already.
Across from you. And she's got like all these little like trinkets and fun things in the shop. And so she like kind of explains what she does. And again, I had no idea other than my friend had a great experience. She knows nothing about me. She knows my name. That's all she knows about me, right?
Oh my gosh.
So you're just coming in. They're absolutely blind to who you are. She didn't know if I was a mom. She didn't know if I was married. She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So I sit down and she talks about like, so I work more in the spiritual space of your spirit guides, your angels, and the Akashic records, which I had heard of before, but had never gotten a reading for it. But it was 2 hours long.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane. insane. So incredible. Again, I was crying the entire time because she literally knows nothing about me, and the things that she was saying and the connections she was making, I was like, this is unreal. And she's so fun, very like bubbly, full fun energy. Like
really?
she's not like serious and like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a thing. Like, oh my gosh, so much life, so much fun. And it just felt like very natural, very, you know, like her and I felt very similar in energy, I felt like. But I'll tell you the two things that came out of it, because I mean, there's so much I'm still digesting, and I loved, she let me record it. So I've been like re-listening to it.
That's
just
awesome.
Because 2 hours worth of all of the stuff, it's like, how do you retain it all, you know? So I was like remembering certain things, but I couldn't remember all of the things. But the two things that really stood out that I wanted to share with everybody. So I love being a mom. It's one of my favorite things on this planet. But I tell people all the time, it's a thing I say. I like had just said it last week to a client. I was like, okay, I love being a mom, but I am meant to be a grandma. Like I know it in my bones.
You have like some grandma energy.
I have grandma energy. I am wearing a floral sweater right now. Like I might as well have like puff paint around some kittens on my sweater.
Yes.
Like
You like to thrift. Yeah, like
I'm telling you,
you bake. Like
I have grandma vibes. Okay. So this woman, again, not knowing that I had children, not knowing anything about me, she starts talking about how there is a like soul contract with a spirit that is not yet here on this planet. And she's like, this is going to be your grandchild. She's like, you have a soul contract with your grandchild. She said, your lessons that you've learned in this life, she's like, you have so much wisdom that you're going to be sharing with this grandchild. You have a bond that is unlike anything with this grandchild. And what you are going to impart to them is going to affect their entire life. People will know their name. Like they are like going to be a major player in like furthering like good things on this planet. Aww. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, she just literally affirmed that like it is actually my soul's purpose to be a grandma. And I was like bawling my eyes out because I was like, I can't believe I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Wild. So that was one thing. Then at the very end, so she tells me all of these things. She's looking at my Akashic records. She's talking to my freaking guardian angels for my family, all these things. Then at the very end, she's like, okay, do you have any questions for me? I'm like, I have no brain right now. Like I can't even think. You've told me so many things that I'm just like trying to process and all that. But I said, I'd really love to know where I should be putting my energy right now. And she like sat there. She's like, hold on, let me get quiet really fast. And she said, okay, they're telling me fortune favors the bold.
What?
Okay, hold on. This is fucking crazy. So, throughout the whole reading, she also kept saying, you have so much Celtic energy, like so much Celtic lines in your family. Like you have so much Celtic, like you've lived so many lives of this Celtic energy. And when she said fortune favors the bold, I couldn't even stay quiet. I was like, excuse me. So my great grandma was like in Ireland, like she lived in Ireland. Okay. I'm very, very, very Irish, very Irish. Everyone in Ireland and Scotland, they have family crests. Okay. Mm-hmm. And on every family crest, they have animals, but they also have a ribbon and a saying on the ribbon. Mm-hmm. Our family crest is fortune favors the bold.
No.
It says Fortuna Intuit, which is fortune favors the bold in Latin. On my family crest for the Quinn family line from Ireland.
That's wild.
So she just...
I've never even heard that in my life, by the way.
Yeah. So it's on our family crest. My brother has it tattooed on his back.
What?
Yeah. I'm not joking. Isn't that like... I was like... my jaw hit the floor. I could not believe that she said that. And she was like, oh my gosh, it was literally written above you in fire. Like, fortune favors the bold. Boom. Like, right above you. Crazy.
I am terrified of what she might see for me.
Dude. But here's the thing. Okay. And this is what I will say. Before I ever had a psychic reading or anything, I was terrified that they were going to tell me bad things were going to happen. I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know if bad things happen.
Never crossed my mind. That's
how
I have never.
You've never thought
no.
they were going to tell me bad things?
No.
Oh,
never once.
Okay. So that was absolutely terrifying. I was like, they're going to tell me bad things. So then when I had that session with the guy that we went to, I was like, oh my gosh, that was so sweet, kind, uplifting, all the things, you know? And so with this one, like, there wasn't anything like bad. It was just like prompting and like helping and like encouragement. And it just, after feeling so heavy with everything going on in the world and all of these things, right? Like, it just made me feel like this hope, right? Like, just like a feeling of hope and like purpose in like, okay, I am moving in the right direction. I am doing things I'm supposed to be doing. There are things that now I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus more on that. I'm going to do a little bit more of that. I'm going to look into this more, look into that more, you know? But it was just absolutely amazing. And I feel like I wish everyone could experience that experience because I was like losing my mind afterward. I was like, that was the craziest experience. Just like watching her work too and like being so connected and being able to like interpret the things because a lot of it is like pictures and stuff. So her being like, oh, there's like a totem and somehow you broke the totem. And so like trying to figure out like what this means and how this is connected to you and all of that. So
interesting.
It was so wild, insane, amazing, like 10 out of 10 recommend. She was absolutely incredible. And I just like, now I want you to go and I want to hear, I literally want to hear everything. Like,
yes. Woo! I mean, I love this for you.
Yeah.
And I'm also like beyond excited. I want to do that so bad.
No, she is incredible. And she's been doing it for like 23 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, she's very like seasoned and also just, again, like she was just like very warm and it was just the best. So anyway, wanted to share that craziness. But yeah, I'm like now, because I've been, you know, it's like it's the Chinese New Year today, like that when we're recording right now. So Year the Horse, here we come, like freaking giddy up, like we're fucking going. But I every year I usually do like a vision board or last year I did a bingo board, which I loved actually, and so I'm redoing that. But today I think I'm going to spend some time and really like, okay, from that reading to like, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to put energy towards, you know? So I'm going to fill out my bingo board.
I love that.
And make my little, like set my intentions for this next year.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
But I also like, as you know, because when you got here today, I was like a little bit of spirally. Like there was some energy of just like, but it's funny, like as we're recording and everything, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm calming down a little bit. It makes me realize that, you know, when you are leaving one thing and something new is beginning and you're moving forward, there's so much of you that even mentally you're like, I am so ready. Yeah. Like you're so ready to move forward.
Totally.
But there's like, it is scary. And there is a part of you that like, there's comfort in what you know, even if it is like not the, you know, it doesn't feel like there's momentum. It feels negative, or aligned, like whatever. Like, it just doesn't feel aligned. Like sometimes you still just are trying to fight to hold on to things when you're like,
it feels familiar. And it's like, okay, well, this I know this life, but like moving into a different direction, like that is scary. It is. And sometimes it makes you feel like, I don't know if my body can hold that right now, but it's like taking those steps towards it. But it is like, there's always, with bravery, there's always fear.
Yes. I mean, that's what being brave is. It doesn't mean you don't have fear.
No, it just means you do it anyway. Yeah, exactly.
We're doing it anyway.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Press record. That's what we do. That is what we do. Oh my gosh.
I love you.
I love you. I'm excited for the year of the horse. I'm excited for how things are going to shift and change. And yeah, it's just going to be good.
So good.
Yeah. Woo! I'm excited. Okay. I love you.
Love you.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.